Okay, yes. So we are live. Uh, Hello everyone. Today we are on the webinar of Youth Perspective Volunteerism in the time of COVID-19, and we are here to celebrate International Volunteer Day for economic and social development. And this is a very important day for the entire volunteer community across the world. I started my journey in the social sector starting with volunteering, and I've learned a lot of leadership skills, and there are so many young people in the youth community who want to explore this area of volunteerism. And today we are doing this webinar with young people from across Gujarat who have shown some exemplary volunteerism skills and work in COVID-19 lockdown and even post lockdown. And we are going to hear from them how it has gone through them. Talking about Gujarat Youth Forum, I'd like to share that it all started with a crowdfunding campaign that was called Ahmedabad Fights Corona, where we wanted to support individuals and the communities who were impacted by COVID-19 lockdown. It started with a team of 100 plus young volunteers from the city itself who were 24 by 7 on ground supporting the families in need. And slowly and gradually, we felt that a unison of all the young organizations across the city was needed to achieve the common goal, which was to help the community. And this is how the idea of Gujarat Youth Forum was germinated, that we should have a common forum, for the state of Gujarat, where we get all the young people and young organizations on a common platform, and we can address to the aspirations of youth community in a very effective way. And while we were doing this program, we received a great support from UNICEF through design workshops, and we got guidance, how to carry out these programs, and we got really some good insights and mentorship lessons from UNICEF. And this is how the entire idea, with the support of Center of Excellence from Gujarat University, started. And then this is how Gujarat Youth Forum is going. And then we are doing series of webinars with young people, understanding their aspirations. Like we did a webinar with tribal youths, understanding their aspirations. We did a webinar on Gandhi Jayanti to understand their perspective. How young people aspire, what changes they want to bring in the community, what they aspire. So this is how we are building the forum. And today we are here celebrating this International Volunteer Day with young people, hearing the volunteer stories, how they are trying to bring a change in the community. And before starting the webinar, firstly, I would like to invite Mr. Kumar Manesh, who is a state Yuva consultant for UNICEF Gujarat, to moderate the entire session. And over to you, Mr. Kumar, from here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Manish, for this wonderful introduction, and I welcome both my panelists, Pallavi and Vijay from UNICEF, Pallavi from TATA Communication. I think this is an important day now to discuss about the volunteerism, and we have very interesting panelists in Pallavi and Vijay who have been in the field for long. At the same time, we have also identified 7 young volunteers from across Gujarat who are going to share their volunteer journey, how they started, and specifically what they basically worked during the COVID-19 in Gujarat in particular. So before that, I would like to love to thank COE Center of Excellence at Gujarat University, UNICEF, Elixir Foundation, Gujarat Youth Forum for organizing this knowledge series, which is basically about having an engaging dialogue with the youth. The fact that we are all at our home, we are still not a few days. Hopefully, in 2021 we can meet in person. But right now we are using this method, this platform of digital to connect and discuss on these issues. So I'm going to have a brief introduction of Pallavi, and then I will ask her to come and share about her experience and her journey on volunteerism and what she basically sees volunteerism for youth in the present context and also in the future. So Pallavi is a senior manager, CSR, lead global employee volunteers program at TATA Communication. She has a postgraduate degree in environmental science. She has spent the first 7 years of her professional journey working with a global NGO, and she has also co-authored a reference book for teachers on informal learning pedagogy. Currently, she leads employee voluntary globally for her organization and leading and managing sustainable livelihood programs. And she's very much focused on women and girls. So basically, she works a lot on gender equality. So I would love to invite Pallavi to share her thoughts on International Day of the Volunteer. So, Pallavi, over to you.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Kumar. And let me thank Madhish Elixir Foundation and Gujarat Youth Forum for actually inviting me today here on this, occasion of International Volunteers Day. For someone, as you said, who leads global employee volunteering within the organization, I've always been like, curious and uh, I'm always on the lookout to connect with people who volunteer, especially young people, and there's a reason for that, which I can share later. But I believe that each of these volunteers, people who uh, volunteer, has a very inspiring story behind it as to how they started volunteering in the first place, and how instead of stopping there, they just moved on and kept volunteering. Uh, in spite of their daily job, or in spite of whatever personal professional engagements they have. We all have the 24 hours, but somehow volunteers, I have seen, they can actually, within those 24 hours, they manage to lend a supporting hand to someone, do a bit of volunteering. So for me, it has uh, always been a very interesting topic. And today, this is a youth forum, and I'll be talking mostly about why I believe that youth, especially at this point of the crisis or the challenge that we're facing, are actually or can actually make a meaningful difference to volunteering in the society. So one is obviously that youth are obviously can bring in a lot of work, uh, or support a lot of work through volunteering. And India being a country where the youth population uh, is a huge demographic dividend, which is more than 50% of its population is below the age of 25. These brings a very unique role or an important role for the youth in bringing societal changes, community building, or promoting social inclusion, all through volunteering. Uh, all of which you are present here today are already driving change at your individual capacity, as Madhish mentioned, and I congratulate and thank all of you for that. uh, Imagine so many of you coming together, from different places of India, or especially during the crisis. Imagine the kind of massive impact that you can create through volunteering. Volunteering is nothing new. People have been volunteering since ages. The how, the why, or the when uh, might have changed, but at the end of the day, volunteering, the definition of volunteering basically just remains the same, which is rendering service, to the community, to the society, or to the underserved people without expecting anything in return. So that is something which defines volunteering at all levels and throughout the world. Uh, it is when I started volunteering myself, when I joined Tata Communications, I was really curious about why people volunteer, and that's how I came into volunteering. I started volunteering, and I still volunteer, of course, on a digital through a digital platform these days. But I could understand that what drives people to volunteer. Uh, it's not only a feel good activity anymore. Of course, it brings a lot of pride, or a lot of sense of fulfillment to the people who volunteer, especially youth. But it is actually also will help develop different transferable skills within the youth, or the people who volunteer. It can be collaboration, it can be accountability, and or problem solving skills, because you are actually helping resolve a problem in the society. And not to forget, the real life experiences that you will come across while volunteering. Those are the ones that will, give you stamina, the strength, the resolve, and the resilience to basically uh, move forward in your professional and your personal life. It also gives you the window of opportunity to tackle real life challenges, because that's what you will be doing. You can, feel that this is something which I can do at my own level, and the kind of thinking, the problem solving, and the innovative uh, thinking that will arise from it will actually create the real change. I also believe that volunteering gives you an opportunity to inspire a sense of citizenship as well, because when you are doing something for the society, it's not just for that uh, small area, or that small that section of people, but actually that is, you are replicating the same changes in other locations as well. Maybe someone is inspired by you, or it has a ripple effect, so you never know what will be the end goal of the work that you are doing. Your efforts actually are to improve the present, but believe me, it will actually ensure a healthy, a secure future, not just for yourself, but also for the communities and the societies that you're supporting. As Manish said, I work at Tata Communications and I lead the global employee volunteering there. I'm part of a legacy, actually, the Tata Group legacy, which is more than 150 years old. The group's mission statement is to improve the quality of life of the communities we serve globally through long-term stakeholder value creation based on leadership with trust. This is something which we at every Tata Group company we live by it. We've embraced it as a way of life, and Tata Communication is not any different. We actually follow this mission statement to the very core of it. The group believes that its biggest asset, its people, its 7 lakh employees across the globe, can create a positive difference in the lives of so many people through volunteering itself. So by 2025, the group has a uh, aim to become one of the most valuable, most relevant volunteering corporate volunteering program in the world. Uh, if I have to come back to my own organization, Tata Communications, we have a very robust employee volunteering program that is designed to create, maximum impact through various collaborations. When I say collaborations, I'm talking about, in, uh, NGO partners, civil society organizations, or even people who are individually doing volunteering. And actually, in fact, Elixir is one of our long-standing partner in volunteering, and we have been driving volunteering initiatives with them to reach out to some of the most underserved people in the society. Uh, what we have seen, and it's very interesting. I was looking at some data earlier today, because I for this session, while I was preparing for the session, it just occurred to me that through some of the surveys that we have done internally, I could see that employees who are between the age group of 25 to 35, they are the most passionate and dedicated group of volunteers. I could see them. There's a huge graph which says uh, people between 25 to 30 volunteer the most during the entire year, and they're always seeking ways to volunteer. They come to us asking for different initiatives that they could participate with, and we have been able to make sure that we support them in their volunteering in journey. However, which is I am sure is true about all organizations, uh, the impact of COVID-19 actually brought everything to a halt, even to volunteering activities. We were, strict health and safety guidelines restricted movement of volunteers on ground. But then, we are volunteers, right? We are the ones who are supposed to, and we have that onus on us to find solutions for every problem that is there. So, what rose from the crisis for Tata Communications for us was a new volunteering strategy, which completely shifted to a virtual volunteering platform. And we managed to get our employees, our passionate volunteers, back on track, and we have been volunteering for the past 6 7 months now through virtual volunteering. And in fact, we have been able to reach out to more than 2 lakh people through all these activities. It's actually, for me, it's a immense matter of pride that our employees go beyond business as usual, and they are so invested in social issues. I think that that's something that is a huge asset to the company. Now, if you want to volunteer, there is no dearth of places. Trust me, and from grassroots level to big NGOs, you will find organization looking for volunteers to support them with a lot of things. Maybe an organization will want to have someone work as a volunteer to uh, help them for enhance or support them in creating new systems for them, because they cannot hire more people because the funds are not available. You can also be someone who has a very specific skill set and can help the organization uh, come up with new ideas for volunteering, or for raising funds or whatever. So all you have to do, and this is something that I myself do, is you have to look. You just have to look and be part of networks such as this, where which promotes volunteering. Reach out to people who are already volunteering. There will be something for everyone who actually has the intent to volunteer. And volunteering isn't easy. I'm not talking in terms of managing time and other challenges. But then nothing which is good and which brings change ever came free, right? So you may have to go through several trial and error before you figure out is that what, how, and why of volunteering, what actually you want to do. My request is do not give up. Keep yourself motivated by the commitment that you made to the organization when you started volunteering with them. You made a commitment, right, to support them with something. So keep that commitment, and that, I believe, should be enough to get you going in the first place. And that's how uh, in a couple of weeks, or couple of months, you will see that volunteering is no longer something which is an add-on to your everyday life, but it has actually become a part of your daily life. It fits into your entire universe, of work, personal work, professional work, and everything that you do. I will not take much time now, and I just want to leave you with a couple of things. One is that when you start volunteering, uh, the intent should be always to, uh, create more good, support people who are already volunteering, or support the cause. As I said, there might be various challenges you will face when things are not working for you, and you think that, forget it, I don't want to volunteer. So don't give up. As I said, keep yourself motivated by people like all of you have volunteered, as Madhu said, and motivation will only come from when you look up to people who are doing the same thing, with maybe with much less than what you already have. 2020 has indeed been a year to remember for the crisis, the challenges, the heartbreaking stories of people who were affected by the disease, by the pandemic. But I think, and I truly believe that it will also be remembered for volunteers like you, all of you here who are listening to us, who were at the forefront of COVID-19 to support various relief measures. And you made sure that, you came out in thousands, and you made sure that no one is left behind. So I would like to end with thanking everyone for all that you do and for all that you will be doing so selflessly through volunteering. I wish you all a great future and keep volunteering. I'm available on LinkedIn and Twitter if you want me to connect. I'm sure you have seen my handles on the event brochure. Please, you can connect with me, or it would be great to listen to your stories. As I said, because as I said, I love to hear people speak about volunteering and what it brings to their lives and the lives of others around them. So with that, I'll conclude here. But thank you again, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Pallavi. I think it was really inspiring and also very informative, and it will, I think, motivate a lot of volunteers who are watching, not on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and also those who are present as a panelist. And I think the few keywords which I really liked is that create more good. I think that should be the motto of this whole effort, what we are doing as a volunteer, and keep doing that. And the other is support people. I think in COVID-19, we have seen that it's the people who have to support each other to really tide through this particular pandemic. And I think we have seen good many examples. Even while doing Ahmedabad Fight Corona, we really saw those examples through our own eyes, and how people came together to really help each other. And the other thing is that get motivated by the people who are doing the same work. Look up to these people and you get inspired. So thank you, Pallavi, first of all, for joining in and sharing your thought. I think Madhish and team will remain in touch with you and the volunteers who have joined today, and also on the different social media channels. We'll love to get connect with you on LinkedIn and Twitter. Thank you once again for
Thank you
being
so
part of this
much.
particular session. Yeah.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Uh, yes. So moving ahead, I think we won't need to reiterate the point that the theme for the year 2020 is to thank and recognize the volunteers. So this year is dedicated to the volunteer community. Each and every volunteers who have done even a small work, and they need to be celebrated because their effort has really made a difference in someone's life. Uh, so we have to show the impact of volunteering, and we are here uh, to celebrate the big message of that yes, we can through volunteering. That's the message of the day itself. So moving ahead, I would love to invite Vijay Kanthan from UNICEF India. He is a C4D Communication for Development Officer, and he has been greatly supporting the Gujarat Youth Forum initiatives, and also Ahmedabad Fight Corona initially when it started. He guided the team here, especially in the terms of what kind of a health aspect and how we can support the needy and the people who are at the ground level or who are struggling to get any support. So I would love to invite Vijay for his special address on this particular day. Vijay, over to you.
Thank you, Kumar. Thanks, Pallavi, for such a wonderful address. Actually, there is a lot to learn and lot. As a leader in employee volunteering, I think it was an amazing experience that you narrated. That people, I'm sure, all of us, all organizations would like to emulate and eventually be a part of, encourage volunteering. And thanks, Madish. That was. Being a part of Gujarat Youth Forum, I think, is equally an enriching experience for UNICEF. Being a part of its journey together with each one of you, personally also, being engaging with each one of you the last 8-9 months as the world witnessed the crisis, as we are all going through crises in our lives. And today is a very special day. It is really a very special day because when I just thought of when we all look at this word volunteers, I'm sure each one of us in any part of any forget what volunteering we have done and what we have been part of in our own lives. Some of the crises we have faced, some of the most difficult situations we've all been a part of, whether it is at home, whether it is in the residential localities that we all live in villages or in cities or in the apartment complexes we live in all these. There have been people who have come forward, either from within our family, from our neighborhood, from sometimes from an unknown source, sometimes probably when we are stranded in another location in some other part of the world, some other part of the country, in an airport, in a railway station, in a shop. We are all stuck, and there is some person who comes forward and volunteers and kind of guides us through the place, and that is something that we all. It is not so visible. We don't see it. We don't see it so consciously. We probably take it for granted. But today is a day. I think, as what Kumar said, it's a day to thank volunteers. It's a day to thank volunteers who are part of this forum here today, either who are going to be speaking soon or people who are was watching, listening on the various platforms that this meeting is being live streamed, and so many others in Gujarat, in India, and all over the world who have actually been part of in the forefront, the front line of all the support that has been provided to millions of people everywhere in the last several months. UNICEF has been an important. UNICEF as an organization has worked very closely with Gujarat Youth Forum in the last 8-9 months here in Gujarat for us, because the most important thing is that it's about looking at very important stakeholders for change, very important stakeholders who can be catalysts of change, who can bring in important contributions, and who can add unique value. And volunteers are at the forefront of it. Volunteers are very critical, enabling important stakeholders who are actually at the forefront. If you look at every major conflict, every major national disaster, any acute shock, any form of crisis that we've been in, and that one that we are all living in today, volunteers are at the forefront of it. And as I mentioned again, they are less visible every day and everywhere in our daily lives. And it's time today to look back and think and say that yes, I mean, the spirit of volunteerism needs to be thank. The spirit of volunteerism need to be welcomed. The spirit of volunteerism needs to be nourished, cherished, and nurtured as we go ahead. And each one of us, in whatever roles we are in, as a UNICEF or UN organization, as Tata Communications, as an individual, as a father, a mother, or a teacher, each one of us needs to be looking at with those young people that we meet with the adolescents, with our own children, with our other family members. This is something that today is a day to cherish, share stories, share examples, and be able to actually be imbibe a spirit of volunteerism everywhere. In many communities everywhere across the world, and a lot more, many of you are aware of, volunteers who have joined us today are aware of, people lack safety nets, whether it is in the some of those impoverished urban slums that Ahmedabad fights Corona, young people, the youth warriors were actually going out and reaching out to, or some of the most remote locations in certain tribal districts of Gujarat, or people who have been cut out due to floods in Patna or Assam or other parts of the country. The resilience actually is something that they lack resilience, they lack community, so they lack community safety nets. And it is these volunteerism, it is the spirit of the volunteers who are a fundamental strategies that many organizations depend on in terms of being able to bring back, enable collective strategies actually for things to come back to normal. And even today, for us, as we are looking back to, as Kumar was mentioning, this is a new normal, but each one of us want to go back to a normal that we have lived in as well. And as we combine these two parts of learning to live in a new normal and trying to bring back some of the old normals into our lives, volunteers are going to be at the forefront of it. Volunteers are going to lead it. They are going to be the one who are going to help several communities, several groups of people actually come back to life the way as it was earlier, before the pandemic. There's one very interesting analysis that I had read about the UN volunteers in terms of there are around a billion volunteers around the world, and they contribute to nearly full-time workers' jobs of 109 million workers around the world. So that's the amount of work volunteers around the world are able to deliver. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the three very important things that I can think of is, number one, these are very important, critical, crucial contributions that tip the balance. They actually kind of ensure, for example, the work that Ahmedabad Fights Corona did in the city of Ahmedabad are really important contributions to people who at that time felt stranded, left out, people who were not able to reach out to their families, were unable to access food, clothing, shelter. Those are very valuable contributions, and it's a very unique value because in that times of crisis, to show the kind of innovation, to be able to when there is a lockdown, to be able to source materials, to be able to connect people, to be able to connect with one another, and more importantly, demonstrate courage to, as what Pallavi mentioned, demonstrate courage to step out and say, no, I know there is a pandemic out there, but we are not going to stop. This is not going to stop us. And that spirit actually acts as catalysts of change. So today is a day for us, as we thank volunteers, it's a day for us to also start thinking about the real catalysts of change that the volunteers are, and be able to honor them, be able to felicitate them, be able to cherish the work, and be able to understand, be able to celebrate the successes, be able to celebrate the changes that they have brought in people's lives. And here, I don't want to take too much time because it's already 6 o'clock. I just want to speak about we've all as a global community we've all looked at goals that each nation will reach out to achieve by 2030. These are sustainable development goals, and internationally volunteerism is an important part of, it's a most important stakeholder and listed out as an important stakeholder in achieving these sustainable development goals, because most of these changes are about long-term attitude and behavior changes. It's about facilitating changes in mindsets, it's about raising awareness, it's about championing these changes within microcosms of small units that the volunteers are able to reach out to and engage with. So as we want to achieve larger goals as a society, I think it's very important to explicitly state that volunteers are an important part and key stakeholder group that each one of us have to engage with, promote, and be able to. It's a very important tool to promote civic engagement. It's an important tool to ensure that communities own up their own development agenda. It's really important because it's about also ensuring the social inclusion. It's about ensuring that there is a greater solidarity among communities, because from their own, its members, the Ahmedabad Fights Corona group were people from the same communities that were experiencing this distress during the pandemic. It is Madesh and his workforce and this volunteer workforce that went ahead and kind of they belong to the same place, they belong to the same families, the same communities that live together in the city, and to have, and that deepens a bond. That's an important piece to be able to bring in solidarity among communities around the world today. So with this, I will stop here. Let us look at how we can today celebrate the stories that we're going to hear from the young people, the stories of courage, the stories of inspiration, the way they went about addressing several challenges, overcome their own personal challenges to address, to help other people overcome these challenges. And that is something that we all can take back home. And just drawing from what Pallavi said, it's time for each one of us to think that, okay, fine, what is it that I would do a good deed today, something, do a good deed today, do it every day, do that's something that each one of us can take back and commit to being volunteers ourselves, no matter whether, I mean, how old we are and where we work and what state in our life that we are in. And with that commitment, I really once again want to thank Madesh, thank Kumar, thank Gujarat Youth Forum, thank Pallavi, thank all the other young people who are out here today to share their stories, and ones who are watching and listening. There's a lot that we need to do. The pandemic is not over yet. There is still a lot to be done. It's not I mean, as a communication behavior change support to the government of Gujarat, government of India, we keep talking about jab tak dawai nahi tab tak dilai nahi, but kabhi bhi delai nahi. There is no way we are going to be careless, and volunteers are going to be an important support system to ensure that India as a whole comes out of this pandemic safe and healthy, and come back to a whole new normal that is actually a whole new way of happy and sustainable living. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Vijay. I think you summed up really well. I think the volunteerism, I think, journey has begun, especially in the context of the COVID-19, and we are now moving towards vaccination, and where volunteers are going to play an important role in terms of creating right kind of a message and reaching, not taking this message to the last audience. So that's very crucial. And I think that's why it's very important that we get support from the volunteer, especially the youth community, to take this initiative ahead. Thank you, Vijay, and thank you, Pallavi, for joining at such a short notice and sharing your thoughts on this particular important day. So now I will going to move to the next session, which is basically with the volunteers or representative volunteers who worked on the ground, and they have done some interesting and very work on the ground in different area. So we are going to listen to their journey, their volunteer journey, what they basically learned, and what are their future thinking about the volunteer challenges, especially from the youth perspective. So I would like to invite Madhish to invite all our panelists on the screen so that we can start our next session. Thank you, Vijay, and thank you, Pallavi, for joining in.
Thank you so much, Manish. Thanks, Madhish, and everyone else.
Yes, thank you everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
So it's good to see some familiar faces on the screen here, and I have seen some of the work which you have done through the initiatives which you have taken. So welcome all the volunteers who have joined from across Gujarat on International Volunteers Day today. We are going to start our next session, which is all about you, because you all are at the center and you have done some immense work on the ground level, especially in terms of addressing some of the challenges which emerged during COVID-19. So before I start, I'm also going to introduce Yuva. That's a initiative of UNICEF, which is basically about youths. So it's called Yuva Generation Unlimited, was launched in year 2019. Is a bold new national initiative to transform education, skilling, and employment for India's over 300 million young people aged 10 to 24 years. So So it aims to equip the young people in India as a problem solver by engaging them as a catalyst of social change. So I would love to invite all of you to go on the Yuva website and explore more what are the activities which we are doing. It's also about how we can empower young people to acquire skills to enhance their creativity and potential that build new India of 21st century. I'm very happy to share that right now, as part of Yuva and UNICEF initiative, we are doing this Children Innovation Festival with GUSEC, and where we are encouraging young people to be a change maker, to be an innovator. So I would encourage all of you who are present here to share that link in your network, encourage youths from different districts of Gujarat to use that opportunity and to showcase their innovation, showcase their idea. And those who are watching, our volunteers are also putting that link in the chat box so that you can refer to them, and also the UR link. At the Yuva, we also have a very interesting platform called U Report. And the U Report is basically captures the aspirations of youth. So you can also, all of you can become a U reporter. So you can simply go, and it can be done through WhatsApp and also through a Facebook Messenger. And it's very user intuitive. So I would love every one of you to also be part of it, become a U reporter and share your thoughts there and give feedbacks, and also share in your network so that more and more people can be part of it. And why we are talking about this volunteer and youth, because we also have seen that the COVID-19 pandemic has hit youths and children a lot, because I think most of us, or most of you, not me, are being out of a school or in the college. If you're studying in a college, you're not able to do that. So everything has to be done from home, and you're not able to meet people in person. So that's that kind of a thing which we are missing. But despite that challenges, we are trying our best in terms of trying to provide the education through digital media platforms. But not everyone have that same access. But we are working on that in limited capacity. So it's important that we all come together and work towards it, especially from the point of youth and children. Again, this is a kind of a knowledge series which we have started with Gujarat Youth Forum, where we bring young people on the platform. And that's why you see the average age of the panelists here must be in 20 years or 21 years. So we need to hear your voices, what you think, what you aspire, and what are the feedbacks which you like to give, and which can be captured and can be shared with the decision makers to make some kind of a decision which really impacts your life. So without any delay, so I'm going to, and what our format, we have kept it very simple. So we have volunteers from different districts of Gujarat. So I will name one person, they will come, they will briefly introduce themselves, because I don't want to introduce them, because then we have very less time, and we want to hear from each of the panelists who are. But I'm going to name them so that they can start their talk. And the first thing that you can have the brief introduction, where you will tell about your journey, your volunteer journey, and what really was the moment which you really get inspired or motivated to come into this particular initiative. So I'm going to invite Abhishek Vyas, 23. He's 23-year-old and from Ahmedabad. Abhishek, over to you. Abhishek, you have to unmute yourself. That's the.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, and good evening to all the panelists and all the viewers. As Sir introduced me, I'm Abhishek Vyas. I'm 23 years old, and I recently graduated from Gujarat National Law University. Well, because this program is based on COVID-19 and the work that was done during that period. So there are primarily two projects that I was a part of. First was the Migrant Workers Assistance Project, which was a project of Gujarat National Law University, where we collaborated with this NGO called Zenith Legal Aid in Madhya Pradesh, and helped around 15,000 migrant workers who were stranded at different places with safe homecoming and sustenance. And by sustenance, I mean that providing them ration and basic food necessities. The interesting thing about this project was that we had zero on-field presence. We were a team of around 228 volunteers, and we had no one from our team on the field. All we were doing was coordinating with the government officials, coordinating with civil society organizations, and the migrant workers, and all the government authorities. So through that, that was the first project. After this project ended, I started a personal project called Share Your Privilege. So there was a lot of talk during the COVID lockdown about privilege, how we need to acknowledge our privilege. I thought that acknowledging your privilege is a bit of an academic exercise and does not really help anyone. And therefore, I thought, okay, you are privileged, you have accepted that, but try to do something with it. If you have extra money, if you have extra time, if you have extra skills, you can put them to good use. And I I converted my Instagram account and I named it Share Your Privilege. The whole idea was whatever on-field distress queries that I come to know. Let's say someone does not have ration, or someone cannot pay their medical bills, someone cannot pay their rent, some kid requires, let's say, a smartphone because they cannot access online education. I verified if that need was genuine. We called them and we got as much information as we can without impinging on their dignity. So it's not that we are taking a lot of personal information, but just verifying the genuineness, and thereafter posting it on my social media account. That, okay, this is what is required. If you want to help, this is how we can help. And through that, we were able to, I was able to work with a lot of friends, and we helped with ration related requirements, rent related requirements, medical bills, school fees, smartphones. Then I also started helping a couple of initiatives where they were building community libraries in rural areas, and for that also we started fundraising and such things. So these were the two primary projects. One was the Migrant Workers Assistance Project, and other, which is ongoing, is the Share Your Privilege Project. Yeah, that's it from my
end. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Abhishek, fantabulous. I really love the Share the Privilege initiative, and I think it's something completely different. And I think it's really appreciate the work which you have done. And these are some of the individual initiatives which matters a lot. And this is really good. And how you basically utilize your social media platform is also a good example to highlight how social media for social good can also happen. Now I'm going to invite Shivani. Shivani has done electrical engineering. She's pursuing her electrical engineering from LD College of Engineering. So Shivani, over to you.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here and to share my experience about my initiative at the volunteerism. Hey Abhishek, you worked amazingly. So first of all, a huge respect, and curious to know more about everyone else here. So now, starting with what I did, actually, it's all started when my junior Yash Vyas from the same department. Actually, I'm pursuing electrical engineering from LD College here in Ahmedabad. So he called me with a beautiful initiative to serve the country in this pandemic with something we are passionate about. And passion is always equals to poetry for us, for both of us. So here we came with an initiative called Kalam on Duty, where we try to spread happiness to both the ends of the bridge. And I'm very happy to share that how we did that. Actually, as we all know that in this pandemic, some were missing their loved ones, some were waiting for their work to be done, some wanted them to fill with some curious and creative stuffs, while on the other side, some were yearning to get food, some were yearning to reach their homes. So Kalam connected the former as a donor to the later one who is in need. We connected with people through different social media handles and asked them if they have such topics on which they want us to write, like a poem or a song on a script or anything they want to convey on a paper through us, or anything they love, we will write for them. And we rewarded them with all such works in maximum 3 days and asked them from minimum 25 rupees to their wish or how much they like that work. And Kalam made them believe that their money are in the safe hands. And we shared the screenshots of the donated receipts and all, so that we can have a transparency between all of us. This is how a simple basic idea of connecting people to help each other in this time of pandemic, where one got what they wanted, like poems, writings, scripts on his or her topics. On the other side, one got what they needed in this time of pandemic through us doing for what we are passionate about, writing. And I'm very happy to share that it worked exceptionally well. We got more than 45 contents to write, and we collected nearly 11,000, 12,000 rupees for that. We donated that rupees, we contributed that to different NGOs, different funds, and we just connected people. We just tried to build a bridge between the donor and the one who is in need. And it feels good when you got smile from both ends, the donor and actually who is in need too, with doing what we love. So it was all from my side, that what I and Yash Vyas, we both did with our initiative Kalam on Duty. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivani. Another interesting initiative, and thanks to Madis to identify and you brought you here to share your journey. That's really wonderful, and I think the use of art in the volunteering space. So kudos to you. Moving to next, I think we also have to be very brief because we have a lot of questions to all our young panelists. So as brief as possible in your introduction, and just talk about the examples which you would like to share, really passionate about. And then we go to the next question because we still have a limited time period. So now I'm going to invite Naman. Naman is 20-year-old from Kadi, Mehsana. So Naman, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Firstly, a happy International Volunteers Day to all the volunteers. I would like to thank Madhish sir and Gujarat Youth Forum for providing me this opportunity and congratulate them for the successful initiative. This was not volunteering during the COVID-19 was not the first experience of volunteering, but I must say that this was one of the best experience I ever had of volunteering. I got my great inspiration for the volunteering from my parents. My dad believed that success is not about earning money. A rich people is not a successful person, but a person who tried to bring changes around him and make the faces happy is a successful person. So this hit me really hard and led me to the path of volunteer. During the pandemic, I was an active volunteer in the 5 projects. The first project I was volunteer was a food for hunger, where we provided a meal to 8,000 daily wage workers for continuous 34 days. Secondly, we have distributed grain kits to more than 700 families. Third project we did in association with the Lions Club of Kadi and Ministry of Ayush. That was distributing Ayurvedic immunity booster Ukala. This very much Ayurvedic, and it really helped us boosting our immunity against COVID-19. And we can proudly say that we have distributed this immunity booster to more than 6 lakh people around the Kadi. During the pandemic, there were a lot of blood crises around the world, and to come over those crises, small efforts were made by several NGOs and clubs, and we organized a four blood donation camp, and we were successfully able to collect the 1,200 units of blood. Last but not the least one, free COVID-19 home isolation treatment. In this project, we treated all the COVID-19 asymptomatic positive patient completely free of cost. Where we have given them a kit with a hand sanitizer, oximeter, thermometer, mask, Giloy tablet, vitamin C tablet, and hand gloves and other useful things. And we had a team of 12 doctors, and a doctor is assigned to each patient who takes the daily reporting via video conferencing. This was one of the best project where we have treated more than 700 patients till date, and the project is still going on. And we are committed to keep this project on till the pandemic is over. Once again, I would like to thank all the organizers of Gujarat Youth Forum and Madhi sir and Manish sir for providing me this opportunity.
सर आप म्यूट पे हो कुमार सर.
Sir, you're on mute.
Sir, your mic is full.
Yeah, this is the biggest problem which we face, that you are on mute. So finally, yes, you can listen to. Thanks, Naman, for sharing your journey, and I think the belief that you wish to continue till this pandemic is over. That's really great, and I think we all need to start working on this in a more organized manner, especially bringing youth together to reach out to large many audience. So without it, I'm going to next to Dipen. Dipen is from Junagadh. Dipen, can you listen? Yes, Dipen, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Manish sir. First of all, I would like to thank everyone and congratulate everyone for being the great volunteer they are, and very inspirational stories till now. Also, I would like to thank Gujarat Youth Forum and UNICEF India for bringing in such an initiative where few stories can inspire the n number of youths who are having the capability of volunteering but are lacking in some areas. And putting up my story, I and Corona or pandemic have a very good relation, because the first project under Rotary Club of Junagadh that I was assigned to was the blood donation camp. It was just 3 days ago when the lockdown started, and it was there were 3 to 4 events planned up around the city, but out of 4, only the one event that was ours was put on, and other 3 events were cancelled due to the lockdown. And it was a very proud moment that during the tough time we collected around 100 bottles of blood, and then the wave went on, and we did around 10 to 11 projects in total in the last 5 to 6 months, being from ration crates, distributing pads for hygiene to the specially abled girls and women, distributing green and celebrating Green Diwali with the specially abled childrens, and much more, from distributing food and clothes to the needies. N number of projects were undertaken by Rotary Club of Junagadh. I would especially mention here that Rotary Club of Junagadh is just only 3 years old organization in Junagadh. Worldwide, it is a very old organization, and it is a very active youth wing of the Rotary International. In total, we are around 88 members working on ground, and for the betterment of our city. But the most important thing that I witnessed during the pandemic was none of our member was denying to work on field or off field or on any online project. And I felt very soothy that it was their greatness that they are happily volunteering for any of the project that the board members are coming up with. And this was a very satisfactory response that I received from it. And yes, thank you. Over to you, Manish sir.
Hello. Thank you, Dipen, for sharing your thought and the work which you have done in Junagadh in your capacity. So, moving ahead, I am going to invite Ratin Bhatt. Ratin, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
Yes. So, over to you, Ratin.
Firstly, thank you so much, Mr. Manish, for conducting this whole, for moderating the whole panel. Madish ji for giving the opportunity. I would like to wish everyone on the panel and everyone who's watching us today on the social media platforms a very happy International Volunteers Day. Um, I serve as a National General Secretary for this organization called Chhatra Sansad, which is a youth run organization which we started 5 years back. And we used to have all these youth campaigns which we used to do in order to increase the leadership capacities of the youth, this making them aware about the problems, trying to ignite the passion of solving those problems themselves. And when the whole situation of coronavirus happened, the whole lockdown happened, we decided that we should be doing something for this, because the every city that our team was established in was facing a lot of problems. So if I talk about my personal journey, it started back in school. If somebody would have heard it, there was this eye donation campaign drive that my school did. I guess when I was in my sixth or seventh standard, where we had to talk to people and we had to make them sign a undertaking or a form where they pledged to donate their eyes once once after their death. So luckily we were able to collect those forms and give it to the concerned authorities. So it started from there. Since then I did some campaign on not using the uh, only using the natural colors on the occasion of Holi. So all of those were very really small things that we were a part of when we were at school. Once I got off school, then we decided to start something on the lines of making the youth aware about the important issues, making them aware about the current democracy in our country, making them aware about politics per se, because it is really important that educated and informed youth representation in politics is something that is really very important. So we've been working on those lines during the lockdown. We helped various city police in drawing the social distancing circles in Baroda, in Ahmedabad, where we were making those circles outside grocery stores and medical stores. Then we moved on to feeding people in Baroda. Uh, then we were involved. So I think once there was a government order where they said the NGO should not be on ground working. The official government people will be doing all the work. So we started to do something online where we started getting guests, the speakers from all sorts of fields. So starting from politicians to the various Bollywood personalities to authors to various change makers who've done something good for the society. And post that, we created something, since UNICEF India is a part, that is I'd like to mention. We did something called World Stands Together, where because we understood that there was a lot of negativity that was being spread because of the rising number of deaths and rising cases, we decided, let's do something positive. So we named it World Stands Together hashtag Let's Spread Positivity, where we did a whole video which involved young students from 19 different countries who all spoke about positive and a new thing that they learned during the lockdown, uh, during the time they were confined between those four walls of their houses. And I think UNICEF India ended up posting that whole video. So that was one thing that we did. And then I think one of the best decisions of my life that I took was to start something called Plasma Donate Corona. We understood that there was a very high there was a high time where we needed to step in, because we understood we understood from various blood banks that there's a huge shortage of blood as well as plasma. And we decided to start this whole campaign, and we started researching a bit about it. And we realized that any COVID recovered patient, if he goes after he's recovered, nobody is telling them what is plasma, what is the whole concept of it. And I know there are questions on all theories of treatment that are being used, but till the time vaccine comes, whatever is working is working. So we started calling people in all cities, where we started this campaign in Baroda, Ahmedabad, Tapi, Bhavnagar, and Bangalore. And we started getting the response. People started understanding the importance. What was happening is, till the time it comes in their own family, they did not understand the importance of plasma. तो अगर किसी के घर में खुद प्लाज्मा की जरूरत आती है, then they will come running to donate it. But there are so many people who got COVID positive. They did not donate for 4 months, and their antibodies that were generated went off, and then they could not donate. So this is what we started doing. And one of the best things to happen is, you know, as as I was hearing, for a volunteer, one of the best things that somebody could say is, there's this person who called me from Australia that his dad is hospitalized in Bhavnagar and needs plasma. And we got it arranged because he could not come from Australia, and because it was locked out. And so people tell you such fun statement which makes you feel that what have I done to deserve that statement. So they'll refer to us saying that भगवान ने आपको भगवान बना के हमारे पास भेज दिया. And we feel that we've done nothing else than just coordinating. We've just spoke to one person who has donated, and we are just making sure that you receive it from a particular blood bank. So these are a couple of things that we think was one of the best times and the decisions we've taken during the COVID period. I would also like to congratulate all the other panelists and everyone who has taken any initiative. It could be as simple as taking care of your family members. That, for me, even that is volunteering, because everyone was so stressed out during the period that if you're taking care of your own family, that is volunteering as well. So I'd like to congratulate and thank everyone who has mostly survived this period, and hopefully we are going to come out of this, and I'm pretty sure we are coming out stronger. So thank you so much. It was great sharing a little bit of work that I have done during the lockdown. So cheers. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ratin. I think we'll touch base once again post the event also, and we would love to do some more activities with you and your organization, Gujarat Youth Forum and Yuva Initiative. Thank you for sharing. Sure. And I read that your effort saved lives of almost 100 people in Delhi and in Gujarat and Bangalore. So that's really commendable. So congrats once again. And yes, it's very important that we keep on putting this message to our own different channels community that wearing mask is important, hand washing is important, and maintaining social distance as much as possible is very key to fight the coronavirus. So I really appreciate the work you all have been doing in your areas. Moving ahead, I would like to invite Prarthi Shah. She's from Vadodara, and she's a founder of an environmental group called Baroda Strickers. And I think we also did a webinar she organized some time back during the COVID-19, and it was very interesting, and the kind of work which she has been doing, and she has been using her social media platform a lot to talk about these issues. So welcome, Prarthi, and over to you. And let's keep it
Thank
very
you.
focused so that we can have more questions to the panelists to ask. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Kumar, for having me. Thank you, Gujarat Forum, for creating a platform for the dialogue. It was very inspiring to hear both the speakers talking about the volunteerism, and congratulations to all the fellow panelists for doing such tremendous work during the lockdown and post lockdown as well. So, Baroda Strikers, I founded Baroda Strikers in 2012 with my 7 friends. We just passed out from the school, and initially it was for environmental cause, and doing small activities like drawing competition and essay competition for school children. We started our journey, and as the day passed, we started learning many things, and our initiative started being bigger, and our audience got wider. So spreading the message of environment and working on environmental awareness and education is what we focus on more. We have children from schools and youth from college as our team members in Baroda Strikers. It is almost 60 to 70 members working right now. Since the lockdown was announced, we completely shift from offline to online, and all our events were virtual throughout the journey. And from doing the first webinar with Kumar as well, in that was looking at the scenario post lockdown for climate change, and what changes we can do in our daily lives to you know serve the community, and also do something which can prevent the damage which we were doing before. Uh, with that, and then drawing competitions, slogan competitions for school children were organized to do from their own homes. Photography competition, macro backyard photography competition for people to join in from their homes were also organized. Then there was one challenge called paper bag making, 2-minute paper bag making challenge. That was very famous. I did that with Earth Day Network India. It was for audience of entire India, and many people joined in for the challenge of making paper bag in 2 minutes. We also did national and international level campaigns, pledge campaigns for environment on various occasions. And our strikers, we decided that we don't want to gather during this time of pandemic. So including our group meetings to the activities, we shifted that virtually. So every striker helped providing masks and sanitizers in their own neighborhood on their individual capacity, and they kept on insisting on spreading the message of social distancing and following the protocols whenever you are in public. We partnered with many organizations for various causes, and helping the neighborhood and the community. And also there was one initiative called Chithiya Abhiyan, and that was for women empowerment and the increasing abuse and violence during the lockdown period. So these are, in short, all the initiatives we taken up during this period. And now we are slowly thinking of moving back to how we can normalize our activities and go back to the plantation drives and things which after we all get vaccinated, how we'll be able to do it. So thank you. Looking forward to the discussion.
Thanks, Prarthi. I think, hello. Now we have the last speaker, Ankita Sharma. So, Ankita, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Hi, everyone. And thank you so much, Madish, sir, that to give me this opportunity to speak, to share my thoughts with all of you. And I really appreciate everyone, the way you have worked during the COVID, because the COVID is a situation I have seen in my life that is where we are afraid of doing something. Like many of you have shared your thought during the in the month of March. The same thing I will also share in the month of March, when like I thought about to let's do something for like the people, because everything is locked down, nobody is getting anything. So what about the people who are living on the footpath? So they are just based on their daily income. So based on that, I discussed with my teammate, and then we had a conclusion that okay, let's do something for them. But the same side, we get the many people here. Very honestly, I will not share the good things only, but here I will share the things which we received during that COVID also, and might be the other people who are with me, this panelist, they will also agree that somewhere we also get this type of thought that it's not a good little bit risky to do something. But one of my senior member, Ms. Saroji, said me that like this is the real time when we have to do something for the society, because normally every day we are working and every day they are getting help from the other people too. But right now when we have a lockdown, we all are safe at home, we are sitting at home, we are in our comfort zone. But what about the people who are living on the footpath? What about the people who are based on their daily income? So based on this, motivated by her thought, we think that it's time to jump into the field with all the precautions. So we started distribution, we start with the food distribution in Vadodara. But as one of my colleague panelists said that after the few days or few after the few days in Vadodara, especially in Vadodara, we got the we got that message that from onwards the NGO cannot work. So here in Vadodara, we stopped that food distribution in the uh, rural area. But yes, our journey was continue in the Surat. And especially we not only think about the people, but here we are also think about that the animals. We divide our day. In the morning, our teammates, I really would like to mention them name also, because they have worked very hard. Mr. Navneet ji and the Saroji, in the morning they started their day by serving the animals, whether it's cow, dog, sparrow, each and everything, whatever they are getting, and that they have set their route for that. They bring the material for them, and then they started their day. In the evening, they again started by giving the food distribution. Even we have connect many societies, like only if you give them a one kind of food, it make them uh, a little bit you know like example, like suppose if I as a woman, if I am getting only as a human, if I get only one kind of food, it might be boring sometimes. It might be already we are frustrated somewhere, and still if we are not getting any good food, तो वो एक अलग टाइप का frustration निकलता है. So we decided to give them the variety or types of food, so that we connect with the society in Surat. We talk with the many people, we explain them what is our aim, what we want to do. And based on that, we started collecting rotis, so we can make the tasty sabji and roti, so that we can give them the proper food. Apart from food and animals, we started giving them awareness about what is COVID, because what we observed during the field, that they are aware about this, they are something is going on, but actually what is that, what is COVID, what is corona, why we are wearing masks, the small children. Because if I talk about the Samvedna is established in 2019. Before that, I was working individually, and I started my journey by celebrating Diwali with my mother. After celebrating Diwali, I realized that what is the feeling when we share our happiness with the other people, which I never get. So based on that, like 2017 to 2018, 19, I just learned, I just analyzed that what is the actual situation, what I have to do. So after thinking a lot, I come to the goal that I would like to work for the children, work for the nutrition. And we started our journey from 2019 by giving them milk every Sunday. Until now, in Baroda and Surat, we are giving every day we are giving them milk, a flavor milk to small children. And I really feel good that in 1 year we have distributed more than 20,000 milk bottles to the children. The Samvedna is basically work for the children, but during the COVID, we whenever we are giving them food, whenever we are giving them sanitizer or mask, before giving them, we always make them realize, we always talk with them, we always discuss that, okay, what is this, why you are wearing your mask, why you are keeping your hands clean, why you should take a bath. Because if we talk about a real India, underprivileged India, you will realize that there are still many people, they are not taking bath, they are not taking taking a bath is a very small issue in our life. Like, it's not an issue in our life. Yeah, hello.
Yes. So I think I have to cut you short because we also have asked questions from lot many
Yeah,
audience,
no
and
issue, no issue, sir.
we would love your responses on that also. So moving ahead, first of all, thanks a lot for sharing all these inspiring and really motivating stories. And that's why I didn't want to cut any one of you in middle because the kind of work which you all have done and knowing in the limited capacity is really commendable. And I think it's really inspiring also. And I believe that a lot of people who are listening to all of you, they will also realize that the kind of work done by the youths in this COVID-19 time period. So moving ahead, I have few questions to ask. What I will do, I will ask one question and then maybe I can pick one person and you can respond to them so that we can try to finish as many questions and also different perspectives come on the topic. So my first question is on can we have everyone on the screen? Yes. My question would be from Rathin. How youth can be more engaged in volunteerism and where one should start? And please keep your answers very, very precise, very focused.
Sure. So the only thing that needs to be taken care is to continue having the same zeal and enthusiasm. A lot of time what happens is there are a lot of people who start uh, with so much of enthusiasm, they'll work for 4 days and all of that boils down and then they stop working. So there's no specific time to start. You can start at any particular age, according to me. Even if you are a senior citizen and you want to start something, you can start. It's a democracy. So the only thing is that you need to keep that zeal going in terms of bringing that change. You need to continue having the same motivation with which you started off, and I think you'll be able to take your particular motive behind starting that campaign to the other level. So I think this is exactly what I feel.
Yeah, thanks, sorry, Rathin. My next question is to Abhishek. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Uh, so Abhishek, if you can now throw some light because you are not studying. When you have a study, when you have job expectations, and when you also are having to manage your social media platform, where all this, in all this, where does volunteerism feature in, and why one should explore this?
Thank you so much for the question. I'll try to limit myself to an answer within 2 minutes. All right. Thank you so much. I would like to answer it in a very different way. So Mahatma Gandhi believed in a concept called trusteeship principle, which basically means that whatever we have in access to our basic needs. For example, if I need one chair and I have two chairs, I'm not the owner of the second chair. I'm merely the trustee and I have to use that chair for someone else. Similarly, with our money, if I have excess of money which beyond my daily needs, I have something extra, I could make better use of it by sharing it with others. So you are a trustee and your beneficiaries are the community. Now, I think even while you are working, while you're studying, while you have other commitments going on, you have some resource, be it your time, be it your energy, or money, or some particular skill. As Pallavi said, that if you have a specific skill, you have something which is not found in other people. So what you can probably do, you can share that bit. You can share a bit of that. For example, if I'm fluent in English and I have 2 to 3 hours of free time every day, I can use that time to teach some kids. If I have a couple of thousand rupees extra after all my expense and everything, I may choose to use that to support a particular cause. If I have a particular skill, for example, I'm a law graduate and someone wants legal literacy programs to be conducted, or you want to have sensitization drives, I can spend my time in doing that. If someone is good at art, as one of our panelists is, you can use that extra bit of what you have to help others. So I think that you can always find time if you have that right intention. And yeah, thank you so much for the question.
Thank you, Abhishek. So my next question is going to be to Shivani. Shivani, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So, Shivani, because you have been working in this field and as a volunteer, and you have a lot of experience right now. So, if you have to suggest, now what are the changes needs to be done to make youth more connected towards volunteerism? So, if you have to give some feedback, some suggestions, what would be from your side?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for this question. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll make it too short. What I think is, let me answer it in some different way. As I'm pursuing electrical engineering, let me relate it in some electrical terms. It will be interesting for all of you. See, if you have a conductor in your hand, okay, will it have electricity in it? No. Conductors do have moving electrons, do have free moving electrons, but there is no current in it. Why? Because that free electrons are moving randomly. That free electrons are actually randomly oriented. But if I connect a battery across that conductor, the battery will direct that free electrons to move in a direction so that I can have a current in it. That is a simple concept that what I observe is the youth have so much of energy. Actually, after all, we are in a country with so much of youth and with so much of energy. But this energy is somewhat randomly oriented. Randomly. It means many are there who don't know how to start a volunteering, kaise karna hai, kaise nahi karna hai. They don't have that thoughts, they don't have that direction. But if we search for a battery that can provide a direction to volunteerism, believe me, a huge amount of current can flow in our country, which can not only fight with such battles we are facing now, but we can move towards many such changes. So volunteerism needs a direction. Every youth needs a direction. कि ऐसे करना है. This is the way you can start. This is the platform you can work. I love teaching. So these are the options I can go for. I can teach the students who are underprivileged, who want learn, who want education, but they are not getting that. So start doing things from what you love to do, because volunteerism is something which comes from your heart, and that comes when you do things what you love. So in very short, like current in the conductor only flows when free electrons move in a single direction. So volunteerism needs a direction. That is what I observed. That is something missing. We can have a huge current in our country to solve many such problems.
I'm so sorry for interjecting. But I would like to use this opportunity to ask all our panelists and also our viewers, let's take this opportunity to connect, have a pooling of resources. All of us come from varied backgrounds and we have wonderful ideas, wonderful initiatives. But as she said that our electrons are moving in random directions, if this could be the day where we pool in our resources and try to go in a particular direction, I think our impact would be much better.
I think that this is the biggest takeaway from this session, that we have to all come together and work towards a direction. I think people like Shivani, because you know the direction and you have to give direction to us, and because you all know, because you all have worked on the ground. So onus lies on all the young volunteers and the people who are present there to guide the young people and also to us also.
So that's very important. Thank you, Sivani, for that wonderful analogy. And I think Madish, if you can also come in and talk about the Gujarat Youth Forum and share that how you all can also play an important role in building that direction and that engagement. Madish.
Sure. Yes, yes, yes. So yes,
Great.
this is a powerful packed session where definitely it is bringing smiles on the volunteer faces and everyone who's listening this. Definitely, I think we'll be consulting with these young people who are on this panel, exciting panel, and we'll be taking the inputs in building a robust platform that is a Gujarat Youth Forum where we have, a sort of one stop place for young people to come and exhibit their potential. You know what they hold within them. So we'll be definitely taking this into consideration. Mr.
Yes.
Kumar.
Thanks, Madish. My next question is to So, like for example, we also look at the support from our decision makers. So, given a chance, given opportunity to you to discuss to decision makers in terms of how to make volunteerism more mainstream and more in an engaging manner. What can be your suggestion? What are your three key advice if you can give?
Well, first, my advice would be to make a cluster of the leaders, and the authorities. So, for the better execution on ground, and especially during the time of crisis. So, first would be definitely that. Second would be to connect to the people who are actually working on ground in rural areas, in interior parts of our country, who can be in touch with the authorities and all the leaders who are working in various sectors. So that will be a network which can be make a huge impact. And third would be to bring together people who are from diverse community, like diverse backgrounds. They have different expertise. Bring them all together on one platform to make the change more impactful.
Thanks, Prarthi. I think that's very crucial advice, and I think we need to work towards it. And maybe this voice of yours can reach to the right decision-making bodies, and we can incorporate in the work which we are doing. So I think we are just 3 minutes away from our time, and we would love to stick to the time. And I think we can finish it before we end. I think I need one word from each of the speakers, panelists about their hope for the future. So just one word, or it can be one sentence only. So let me start with Naman.
Yes, sir. One sentence would be one of my very close friend used to say me, giving a smile is way better than giving a smile is better than giving smile brings a bigger smile. Sorry. I would once again I would repeat, giving smile brings better smile.
Great. Prarthi.
Maybe let's be the inspiration we all are searching to do something better every day. That would be one
Great.
line.
Yeah. Ankita. You're not audible, Ankita. You're on mute.
Okay. Yes. Our life is continue.
Okay. Ratin.
I slightly have a longer line, but I think this makes the most sense. If you feed a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, you feed him for lifetime. So I think that is what we all need to take care of.
Thank you. Shivani. I think Shivani got disconnected. Deepen. Deepen, can you hear us? You're on mute, Deepen. Yes.
Right now?
Yes, fine. Yeah, tell me.
All right. So it is on volunteerism. It is on volunteerism as it is an International Volunteerism Day. स्वयं सेवी बनना ही परोपकारी बनना है. So first of all, start helping yourself, and it is the biggest help to others as well.
Thanks for the thought. Now, Abhishek.
Yeah, 3 words: share your privilege.
Share your privilege. Thank you. Last, Shivani. Shivani, can you hear us? I think her. Okay, Madhish, can you come in, and do we have Tanisha for vote of thanks?
Yeah. Just a second. I'm adding her. Just a second.
Thank you, everyone, from my side. It's really very inspiring and motivating to listen to all of you. And I believe that this is a beginning, and we all need to connect together and to work towards the larger goal which we are focusing on. Have more youth engagement initiatives in future, and we will be in touch. Madhish, over to you.
So I'll take your lead. Thank you, everyone.
Just a moment, we are having Tanisha for vote of thanks. Just a second. Yeah. Tanisha, over to you. She's here.
Good evening, everyone. So we have reached to the end of this webinar. Today, I take the opportunity to give my gratitude and word. On behalf of this Gujarat Forum, I would like to thank all partners, Center for Excellence, Electio Foundation, UVA, UNICEF. I would like to thank our speaker, Pallavi ji from TATA Consultant, Vijay ji from UNICEF India. A special thank to our panelists for the experience you have shared with us. Thank you to all the participants in this webinar. Thank you, Madhish sir and Kumar Manish sir, for organizing this webinar. I would want to conclude by wishing everybody a very happy International Volunteers Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha. I would love all the panelists here to be part of media link.
Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry, sir. Actually, I had some internet issues, but I would like to conclude this in my way. Actually, I love poetry, as I said. Just 2 lines. एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ चल एक शुरुआत करते हैं. रास्ता लंबा है तो क्या, साथ हैं तो धीरे धीरे ही सही एक बदलाव की ओर चलते हैं. एक बदलाव की ओर चलते हैं. एंड हमें एनएसएस में सिखाया जाता है कि जब भी हम किसी को सम्मान देते हैं, when we give a huge respect to the other person, we do like this. This is the way we respect. So congratulations to all the panelists and the viewers who have worked exceptionally well in this pandemic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. I'm logging out from my side. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the panel. And definitely together we can do more. So that's signing off. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.